Chapter 1. We live in a world of copycats. Children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. One of the first books I remember reading as a kid was a joke book. I can still remember one of my corny jokes that used to crack up my friends and me. It takes money to make money. You have to copy the design exactly. Hey, I told you it was a corny joke, didn't I? But the sentiment is dead serious. Why haven't we found a way to copycat creating wealth? Think about it. We copycat everything else in our lives, don't we? But the only thing we haven't learned to copycat is creating true wealth. Let's take a few moments to talk about the power of copycatting, and then we'll look at some of the reasons most people haven't found a way to copycat wealth creation. One thing we are all good at is copycatting. Each of us is blessed with certain talents and gifts that make us one of a kind individuals. Some people are great dancers, while others can't tap their feet to the beat. Some of us have a talent for art, while others have trouble drawing a stick figure. Some of us are great athletes, while others can barely walk a straight line without stumbling. But the one thing each and every of us is good at, without exception, is copycatting. Have you ever thought about how good we are at copycatting? When it comes to copycatting, we are all gifted. We are copycat geniuses. Copycatting is one trait that we all excel at and that we all have in common. No matter where we live, no matter what our individual talents are, it makes no difference whether we are rich or poor, black or white, male or female. The one thing we are all great at is copycatting. So, why haven't we found a way to copycat creating wealth? Copycats from the cradle to the grave. Copycatting starts the day we are born. We copy the language we speak, the food we eat, the way we wear our hair, the way we walk, the way we dress. When we enter school, we learn to read and write by copying letters in the alphabet. If you were born in Western culture, you copycated the system of writing from the left side of the page to the right. If you were born in parts of Asia, you copycated writing from the right to the left. As we grew older, we learned to drive a car by copycatting, didn't we? The instructor showed us how to check the rear mirror, turn on the turn signal, push slightly on the gas pedal, drive the speed limit, and come to a full stop at intersections. The better we were at copying our driving instructor, the easier it was to pass our driver's test. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. We are so good at copycatting the people around us that we are often shocked by the customs and the habits of people from different cultures. That's what the expression, when in Rome, do what the Romans do, is all about. It's a plain way of saying that we need to honor and respect different cultures, especially when we are visiting other countries. But that's a lot easier said than done. We get so comfortable with copycatting the customs around us that we are often amazed and amused when we hear what other cultures are copycatting. This short list of the favorite snacks of TV watchers around the world will show you just what I mean. United States popcorn, China chicken feet, Japan tea sandwiches, Mexico ears of roasted corn, India mutton sandwiches, Korea sun-dried squid. Did you think to yourself, how could they eat that? Sun-dried squid, chicken feet? You have got to be kidding. But guess what? You'd probably be snacking on while you watch TV if you grew up in Korea. That's right, sun-dried squid. Copycatting the way we work. Here's my point. There are countless differences between cultures, but the one thing every single culture has in common is the way we go about learning the customs we practice. We copycat. We copycat so much that we take it for granted. Copycatting is so prevalent that it's second nature to us, like breathing air. So I ask you again, why haven't we found a way to copycat creating wealth? Make no mistake about it. Copycatting is the most powerful learning tool known to humans. Copycatting impacts virtually every single phase of our lives, from our smallest habit to our biggest life altering decisions. For example, we spend a big part of our lives at work. Did you ever stop to consider how you learn to perform the task you perform at work? How did you learn to write a letter on the computer? How did you know what to wear to the office? How did you teach others who were new on the job? By teaching them to copycat what you did. Isn't that true? The psychologists call it modeling and mirroring. I call it being a professional copycat. No question, we copycat our way through life from the cradle to the grave because copycatting is easy to do. We don't have to keep creating everything from scratch all the time. It works, and we are born geniuses at it. The expression monkey see, monkey do could just as easily be people see, people do. That's why I say we live in a world of copycats. If there's one thing every single person in this world is good at, is copycatting. A short history lesson on copying jobs. We even go so far as to copycat how we earn money. For thousands of years, children of farmers copycatted their parents and become farmers. Children of shoemakers become shoemakers. That's why so many of our last names come from the trades. Names like farmer, smith, carpenter, tailor, and so on. With the advent of industrial revolution, millions of children with last names like farmer, smith, carpenter, and tailor broke away from the family trade and headed to the city to copycat a new concept of work, the job. Copycatting the job worked pretty well for several generations, especially in America, the undisputed king of the Industrial Revolution, because the first half of 20th century was overshadowed by two world wars and the Great Depression. Most people were overjoyed to copycat their family and friends and work a 9 to 5 job. And as long as people's expectation didn't exceed their standard of living, people who copycated the gotta get a job mentality, we content with what they had. Think before you copycat. Like most everything in life, there's a flip side to copycatting. Just because we copycat something doesn't necessarily makes it good or efficient or productive. Unfortunately, all too often copycatting is an excuse to get lazy in our thinking. It reminds me of the story about the old shopkeeper on the main street who placed a grandfather clock in front of window of his store. Over the years, the shopkeeper noticed that a dustbin distinguished looking man would walk by the store every day at noon, pause in front of grandfather clock, pull out a pocket watch and carefully set the time. One day the shopkeeper's curiosity got the best of him. When the gentleman paused in front of grandfather clock, the shopkeeper ran out of the store and asked the man why he set his watch each and every day. The man smiled and replied, I am the foreman at the town mill, he said. I blow the quitting whistle at 5 each day, and I want to be sure it goes off exactly on time. The old shopkeeper gave him a startled look and then burst out laughing. The man stepped back and asked indignantly, "What's so funny?" "I'm sorry," replied the shopkeeper. "I didn't mean to be rude, but I just had to laugh. You see, all these years I've been setting my grandfather clock to your five whistle." This story is a perfect illustration of the downside of copycatting. We copy others, others copy us, and all too often we assume that people we are copying have the right answer. I repeat, we assume we are copying the right people. That's exactly what happens when we take a job without really thinking why we took the job. I think most people assume that jobs are the best way to create wealth. Well, in fact, jobs don't create true wealth. Jobs create temporary income, and there's a big difference between the two. Let's re-examine copycatting the job. Like I said earlier, copycatting is the most powerful learning tool known to humans. But every now and then we have to step back and examine our assumptions about what we are copying and why to make sure copycatting will indeed give us what we think it will give us. Throughout this chapter, I have repeatedly asked the question, why haven't we found a way to copycat creating wealth? The answer is painfully obvious. Most of us have been copycatting the job track instead of the wealth creation track. Why? Because most people assume that a job is the only way to actualize their financial dreams. Perhaps they are unaware of alternatives to the job. Perhaps they don't believe there are other sources of wealth, or perhaps they don't think they are capable of creating true wealth by working outside job routine. Whatever the reason, the result is the same. Most people become 95% years instead of 5% years because they are copycatting the job track and creating temporary income instead of true wealth. What about you? What are you choosing to copycat? Are you choosing to be like 95% of the people who are copycatting the job track, or are you choosing to be like the 5% who are copycatting the wealth creation track? Get off your assumptions. As a wise person once observed, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. Today, more than ever before, it's imperative that we open our mind and become aware that jobs are a system for income creation, not wealth creation. I believe that if people are serious about getting ahead in life instead of getting by, then they have to get their assumption and open their minds to alternative ways of creating wealth. I believe that the 95% years, that is, people who continue to enter the door marked job, will continue to end up right back on the street where they started. I believe, however, then if we are truly sincere about getting different results and becoming 5% years, we need to start entering doors that will open to wealth creation. In the next chapter, we'll talk more in depth about the difference between income creation and wealth creation, and we'll learn why true wealth is more attainable today than ever before in history.